Shut up and sit down.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Bradley Barnick as well, and I'm accompanied by the fabulous Sid's Rock, also known as Sam. What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at? What are you laughing?
Barely is so loud that the mic is picking up on the intro.
We were listening to the. We have to listen to the intro, otherwise it echoes onto the system. But it was so loud that the mic was picking up on it, and that made Sam laugh like a little.
Because it's been so loud, and we talk about how it's been so loud. We're like, no, we're just gonna do it. We're gonna power through it. It's all good. And then it's still echoing because it's so loud. Brett just points it out.
But yeah, my name's Bradley Barnick, and I'm accompanied by the fabulous Sam, also known as Spins Rock, and today we're going to be talking about a couple things that are very close to my heart.
So,
But we're going to start off with a bit of a PSA.
But a PSA. So, before we get into our lovely podcast, as Brad said, as an outsider looking in, it appears DLG has had a little bit of an identity crisis.
Oh no,
recently.
That's not good.
No, and Brad, would you care to explain what is happening right now?
Because of some technical issues, I guess, at DLG, DLG no longer exists as a team. They disbanded and started Perg Esports.
We're on our own.
But we are on our own. The podcast is the only thing that is left of DLG. Yeah. We're here, and we are still going strong, and we're gonna keep it up.
And we're shouting in the background.
And we're shouting, yeah. But yeah, Perg Esports is a thing. I'm still the coach. I'm still working with them, and we're doing the Challenger Series qualifier.
So you want to explain that? So DLG is not Perg.
Yeah, DLG is not Perg. DLG, Perg, different things. It was not a rebranding or anything. Just Perg Esport, Westy and Lord Dorfington disbanded DLG and created Perg and invited everybody who had a spot at DLG to join Perg, regardless of if they wanted to or not. They could decline or whatever. But yeah, so we're left here at DLG to podcast.
Yeah, it's a podcast. It's like I feel like we're in Fallout. Like we're the last two. Where there's a podcast and we're giving hope.
Yeah. Is it time to bring it up? Well, you would already know by the time that you see the title of this video, but we're talking about.
As mentioned in the very first podcast, Brad despises Call of Duty. And here today, we're going to learn out why, Brad.
Learn out? I think you were trying to say find out and learn at the same time. You said learn out.
Do you want to introduce your segment, Brad?
Yes.
You're interested? Fine. Yeah.
I mean, this is going to be the bashing of Call of Duty.
You make a podcast.
He's gone into my bathroom and he closed the door. All right, well. Is he just going to stay? I think we should just have awkward silence until he gets back. He's calmed down. He's back. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing the reasons why I hate Call of Duty, and a lot of them I would say are pretty valid. Hopefully you agree with them. So in all honesty, I haven't played Call of Duty in a long time. It's been about a couple years. Like I messed around with the new one with a couple of friends just to see what it was like, but I haven't owned a Call of Duty in forever, and it's because of these reasons. To start off with. And this is a very debatable thing, and I will go in depth with it later on, but it's too easy. It's too easy to be fun.
Okay, please explain.
So, especially on console and stuff, the aim assists that you can get, just how easy it is to kill people, the first person who gets the first shot will always win. If someone's behind you, you're dead. You can't turn around like you can in other games as quickly, especially since it's a control stick. If somebody sees you first, you will die, and it's not fun.
I mean, that is debatable.
How is that debatable though? What is it about that's not right?
I have seen, not albeit it is more towards the rare side, I have seen clips of people who are just so bad.
Yeah, okay. So you can be really bad at Call of Duty, but you can't be really good.
Can't be really good.
You can't really be good at Call of Duty. There are professionals, but like there can be a dumb luck decent player at the game who's able to beat them in a 1v1 because they just got the map advantage on them. Because that's
Right.
just how it's just I just think it's the game is just too easy in that respect. Like it's just not there isn't enough there for it to be like super competitive in like CS where there's like the better player will always win in CS in a 1v1.
I feel like in Call of Duty, the better player won't always win, but I feel like the better team will always win.
The better team generally will. That I can agree with, but the better player will definitely not always win.
Yeah.
It's because the teammates will like have positioning and stuff. And another problem, a huge problem that I have with Call of Duty is their innovation. Okay, so again, another thing I'll go into depth later. The lack of innovation and the way they use the word innovation. They think they're innovating all the time. Another game that I think, or not another game, but another thing that I think is having identity crisis is Call of Duty, because they don't know if they want to be a super realistic shooter game like they try to be in the beginning, or a futuristic, not real at all, guns in space, like conversation kind of thing. You know, like I don't think that they thought they like originally. I don't think when they made the first Call of Duty they were going to be like, oh, we're going to make a Call of Duty game where we're in space. They kind of just like went with it over time, and I just dislike the fact that it was supposed to be like a war game, and there was games like World at War, which wasn't terrible, and the original Call of Duties, which weren't so bad, but they were still like not that good, and then these new ones that are just randomly in space and stuff. And another problem with innovation and stuff is that they don't create their own stuff. They take things from they take ideas, like big ideas, like from Counter-Strike, from Battlefield, from a bunch of other games. Like specifically, I haven't played Battlefield and stuff like that. I did read stuff about it, but I'm not going to bring it up because I'm not informed about that kind of stuff, so I don't want to say something that I'm wrong. But I know for a fact that in Counter-Strike, we had skins and stat track weapons before Call of Duty did. And Call of Duty now has skins, stat track weapons, knives that are rare.
Yes, that's right. I mean, Call of Duty's always had, like, it was originally called, like, camouflage.
Okay,
stuff.
but everything would have camouflage. That's expected. But now they have, like, wacky...
Yeah, but now, so they've always had, like, I'm just saying, I don't want viewers to be confused stuff. Obviously, Call of Duty has always had... before even CSGO had this, but like camouflage guns, so you have like a blue and white like camo thing. But now it's more of like
the wacky skins.
Yeah,
that's one of the more fun things about Counter-Strike is just having these like random like
you have like baseball bats and wrenches and Call of Duty and stuff.
Is that it doesn't seem like what Call of Duty tried to be originally to me anymore. And they started to steal ideas, I think, and like stat track, like that's not something that's always been in Call of Duty. Stat track has been in Counter-Strike for about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And it's just they just took the idea, and like the mechanics of the game, I don't think they're just so like I said earlier, they're just too easy for it to be that much fun, because I feel like it's the same thing over and over again. People who can quickscope will quickscope you because they can see you from across the map and one shot kill you. Like it's like an op, but it's not worth as much, and it just can be used anywhere, and quickscopes are super easy, and 360 no scope jump shots can be hit every time. Like it's just, and that's like what Call of Duty has become. It's become a meme of 360 no scope like quick scopes, like no scope quick scopes, no scope jump shots. Like that's what Call of Duty has become in my eyes.
Between you and I is that I don't make fun of you when we mess up. Occasionally, I just roll with it. Where you guys got playing every issue with me, Brad.
With you?
I mean, like I said, find down.
That was funny though. That was funny.
Yeah, well, you said quick scope, no scope.
Quick scope. Well, I pointed out my own mistake.
All right. Well, I was going to.
Yeah, but yeah, and another thing, one thing about innovation before I move on to my next point is they've been caught reskinning their own maps.
Do you mean the one Call of Duty 2 map?
I don't remember. I don't know the names specifically of the maps. I didn't check. But if you Google search enough, you will find that in the campaign, there are maps in at least 2 or 3 of the games which have just been reskinned.
So I'm sorry, I'm confused what you mean though.
So like in the storyline, in the campaign,
yeah,
and there's like a mission, and they're supposed to be in different places. It's the same map, but it's been reskinned, different weather, different floor patterns, but it's exactly the same map.
Oh, okay, yeah. So never heard that. Sorry, I thought you were talking about multiplayer because I know sometimes they bring back maps.
Yeah, some of them they bring back maps. That's fine because
Yeah.
even Smash Bros did that in Super Smash Bros Brawl. They took
Yeah.
some melee
It's like
maps.
what
That
they
was
do.
cool.
What they do is they take like some of the maps and then like change how they look and stuff, but they make it very big that it's the same map.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, I didn't know about the
But
campaign.
being caught using your own maps again just for lack of, like, and what I think that ties in with is they're kind of like half-assed making maps because the games are coming out yearly, and that's too much.
Yeah.
They're trying to be too different every year, and by doing that, first of all, they're not being too different. It's practically the same game that they're releasing and making you pay $60 for, and then another additional season pass for what, $20? How much is a season pass?
It's like 60.
It's another $60. Yeah, so it's a lot of money for absolutely nothing. Like, and it's every year that you're paying this, so it's not like it's every 4 years or something like that. Like that maybe is slightly understandable, but if you were doing that, you cannot half-assed maps. You need to be making beautiful maps, beautiful like new guns and stuff like that. But it's just I don't think and another huge thing that people get super mad at in Call of Duty is and I personally haven't experienced this that much because I didn't play that much online when I played, but there's a huge issue with connection from what I understand. Have you ever experienced that?
What, like lag?
Yeah, server connection.
Yes,
And performance.
but that's not their servers. Like I've had
No, it's more their approach to it because of something I'll bring up. But what were we gonna say?
So yeah, so what they've done approaches before, where it was dumb, where like I think it was in Modern Warfare 3. Their main thing was they were trying to get people who were close to you
Yeah,
connected, rather than
it's randoms.
yeah. So what they're doing is they're looking at your location and trying to get people close to you, rather than which is the best server for you to connect to.
Yeah.
And the way they do it though is they host. I'm not quite sure if they still do this, but what they do is they host off of somebody, take their internet, and then they host to everybody.
Okay, yeah,
Like a
but
private game.
yeah.
And then that's probably the main complaint though, is because it's not as
yes, okay, but that's not really
So
what
that
I was
gives
bringing up.
host
That makes
advantage.
sense. That gives host advantage. Yeah, but the reason I guess they tried to balance that out and really mess it up, and it's still in the Call of Duty today, is lag compensation. Do you know what lag compensation is?
no.
Lag compensation is, and this is something that I've experienced in the few hours that I've played of Call of Duty multiplayer. You know when you're turning a corner and you don't see somebody and then they just kill you?
Yeah.
And then right before they turn the corner? That's because the player model that you're seeing isn't the player model that you can shoot. They made lag compensation so that the actual player model is behind the visual player model so that the lag evens out. So you will get killed before you actually make it around the corner.
Sorry, I understand now. Yeah. No, I've experienced that where it's like I've like shot some dude and then like nothing happens and then
And then they
dead
just
5
kill you.
seconds ago.
Yeah.
And then like I was.
It's because lag compensation is like it's implemented into the game. It exists. It's there.
Right, yeah.
Because they want it to be more equal and more fun, which it just totally ruins the online experience. Because it's like, oh, you have a potato internet. That's fine. Continue using your potato internet, but now you have the advantage over somebody who's actually paying a lot of money for good internet.
Right.
Because you're like behind your actual player model, and I'm not talking like meters behind your actual player model, but enough to like miss a couple shots and like for you to be able to turn the corner before them and get these like, it's just. I think it's a really stupid thing that they have in the game. Like everything should be equal. Don't give people the advantage or try to even stuff out. It's just not fair because it just makes people angry when you get killed before you even see the person turning the corner.
Yeah.
Like.
It's just.
But like that, I can't even like wrap my head around that. And another huge issue that is with Call of Duty, and I might be getting being called a hypocrite for saying this, but I strongly believe that it is true that the Call of Duty community is worse than the League of Legends community, and it is one of probably the worst community of all video games of all time because of the following reasons. One, and okay, first of all, I don't have a problem with these people playing the game. I think it's just their attitudes. Though technically they shouldn't be playing the game because they're not old enough, is the 12-year-old squeakers. Technically, I'm pretty sure we're not even old enough yet to play Call of Duty.
To play CS:GO.
No, we're allowed to play CS:GO. It's teen.
It's teen.
I think it's rated teen, yeah.
Pretty sure it's 18.
Okay, I don't know. Regardless. But Yeah, there is an age for Call of Duty, but people don't listen to that, and we have 12-year-old squeakers that play the game, and that's not my problem. My problem is not the 12-year-old squeakers, but it's their attitude, it's the way that like their superiority complex. They're like they think like, oh, I'm good, and I killed a guy who's 20. That must mean that I'm so much better than they are, and I'm young, and I'm amazing.
I'm young.
Yeah, like it's just their attitude towards playing the game. And then like people like spawn killing and stuff like that is a lot like worse in Call of Duty, and people think like, oh haha, I'm being a troll, that's so funny, whereas the word troll is in Call of Duty at least is now synonymous with just being a dickhead, like doing things that's not fun.
Yeah.
Like you just ruin people's experience, and then like just leave they make them leave the game, and they'll be like, haha, I made him rage quit. Like I would rage quit too. Like that's not fun to be messed around with like that.
Yeah.
And like it is kind of funny. I saw like this picture. I'm sure you've seen it. It's like Pokemon, and then like targeted audience was a an 8-year-old kid, and then actual audience is like a 21-year-old guy, and then Call of Duty targeted audience 21-year-old guy, and then actual audience 8-year-old. But it's like the thing. It is true. Like there's a lot more younger players on Call of Duty than there are.
I think they know that though, and I think that's why some of the more recent things have been built in, because like especially this most recent one, like, the online is easier than before.
It's way
easier. But the thing is because now you have like specialists, where they have like specialist weapons and abilities. Just Call of Duty, it used to be if you got X amount of kills, you could get like a helicopter come in and start shooting at the other team or something like that.
Yeah, no, kill streaks.
Kill streaks.
Those
yeah.
are so stupid.
Anyway,
kill streaks should not be in the game.
Anyway, now, eventually, at some point in the game, because this time takes time, eventually you get some sort of special thing. So either like you can like run faster, or you can like see through. You can essentially have wall hacks for like 5 seconds, or you can have some sort of grenade launcher. Which
weren't they really bad at balancing their games? Like, because you played them more in depth than I have.
Yeah, they were, especially Modern Warfare 2. I had fun in that game, but it's extremely unbalanced. Like, people were getting game-ending kill streaks within 45 seconds by sitting at their side of the map, shooting grenades over, swapping to another class, shooting grenades over, calling in one airplane, one helicopter, and then they called it a nuke. Boom, done. Within a minute, game over. Like, that is very
Does that sound like a fun game to you, Sam? Is that...
I personally never experienced it, because it's only ever happened a couple times, but the fact that that's possible...
And, yeah, but going back to community, it's just like, the League of Legends community is toxic because they're competitive. Like, nobody wants to lose. We're all mean to each other because we want to win, and if you're bad, we're gonna call you out for it. Not that I agree with that, by the way. Like, that's not the way to, like, go about it, but I'm just explaining that's what ends up happening. But in Call of Duty, first of all, they're not competitive because the game is not created to be competitive. Mm-hmm. And another big thing about Call of Duty is technically, and it's a weird word to use, but it's a gateway game. Because people only know about Call of Duty. Like, some people only play Call of Duty. They're not gamers, but they just play Call of Duty because it's a game. It's the game that you get the console for. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, just
the wording.
It's the gateway game.
It is.
See, like a bunch of like moms.
It is.
Like, getting your kid Call of Duty, you know that's the gateway game.
You know that's the gateway.
Next thing you know, they'll be playing that Grand Theft Auto, and then you don't know what you're gonna do.
But it's true. It's the game that everybody knows about. Parents know about it. Teachers know about it. Your brother, your sister, your kitchen sink knows about it. Like, everybody knows about Call of Duty because it's a big name, and it's been around for a long time. And you don't need to be skilled to play the game. I
mean, for a while, it was the best-selling game of all time.
Yeah, but yeah, that changed.
Or at least on Xbox, best-selling game on Xbox.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know the statistics.
It was the fastest-selling. Then Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, and then it just
GTA is a great game. But yeah, like, it's just it's not necessarily targeted at gamers anymore. It's targeted at people who play games for fun, rather than
Filthy casuals.
Filthy casuals.
It's like games to have fun, Brad.
Yeah,
like,
but you're not a complete casual. Do you know what I mean? There's a difference.
I'm not sitting there, clutch your kick.
Yeah, but you're not like
I love that so much when I'm top fragging in CS:GO,
Yeah, and
and
someone
some
tries to-
guy at bomb frags telling me clutch or kick, and then I die, then he tries to get me kicked.
yeah. But yeah, it's just Call of Duty is just it's not made to be like it's not targeted
So
to the people who actually play the game anymore.
You dislike it because not the sole reason. One reason you dislike it is because it's not competitive.
No. I dislike it because the creators of the game do not target the audience that cares about the game the most, which would be like the competitive community.
Right.
So if for some reason, which this is really hard to do, I know a couple games that end up doing this, but if the casual community is the more dominant one, and the people that spend the most hours on it,
Yeah.
rather than the competitive community, which is what Super Smash Bros. Was trying to do in the beginning, which didn't work because the competitive community overall was like, no, this is a better game played competitively. Call of Duty, because they know that obviously in the world there's more players who are not competitive.
Yeah.
They're targeting those people rather than the people in the game that want it to be a more skill-based, like fun, not necessarily competitive, but they're not targeting the people who actually play the game. They're targeting the people that they want to come in and try the game just as like a 1 hour a day kind of thing, like not the people who are actually like actual gamers and like want to spend time and get better at these games. Right. I'm not mad because it's not a competitive game and like, oh, it's not an esport, like, because I'm like a big esports fan and stuff like that. But it's because they don't care about their main player base.
It is an esport.
It is an esport, but it's not a very big one.
So it's not a good esport.
I'm not gonna say it's not a good esport. I'm gonna say it's not a big one yet. But like that point is valid, no?
Yes, but I do think it's like with the void of Call of Duty not being competitive, though, we have games like CS:GO, which is very competitive and barely at all casual. Casual's still in it.
Yeah,
however, how much do you play casual?
Well, I play quite a bit of casual, but that's a different story.
But casual's terrible.
Casual's pretty bad, yeah. In CS:GO, casual is like it's pretty bad, and that you see, there's a balance that I don't think many games have found, like in League of Legends and in Counter-Strike. Because they're so competitive games, casual players end up playing in the ranked queues rather than in the set casual queues because they know that it's straight up better.
It's a better game to play.
Yeah, because it's better. But they are the trolls. They are the just because they know that like, hey, what am I gonna do in a casual queue? It doesn't reward me.
Yeah.
Like or anything like that. So, Call of Duty, I think. They just don't. My biggest problem with them is, other than all the stuff that I said before about the game being too easy, them stealing like their own stuff from themselves and from other people, is that they just don't cater to the right audience, and they do it knowingly. It's not like they don't know that there's a competitive audience that wants to at least play the game like for. Like gamers who play the game 5-6 hours a day, rather than the people who just like boot it up and play like an hour or like 30 minutes every week. Mm-hmm. Like filthy casuals, if dare I say it. But it's like that's just how it is, and they don't cater to the correct audience. And like on a closing note from that, I think that they have done a couple good things with their games, such as introducing the zombie game mode. Not that the world needs another zombie-based game.
Well, when they did introduce it, though, there was less zombie-based games.
That I can give to them. What game did they introduce it in? World at War?
World at War, which was 2008.
Yeah, which wasn't a terrible game. World at War I slightly enjoyed. I'm not gonna...
I mean, it was it's nearly a decade ago at this point. And like a decade ago, zombie was just becoming pop culture.
Yeah, like,
but it's not today where you walk outside and you see some dude dressed up as a zombie.
And then like The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
But what was Left 4 Dead out before that? It would have been.
I think maybe 1.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead 1 would have been out before that, but 2 might have been the same year.
Or no, I think no. I think 2 came out in 2010.
Okay, fair enough.
I think
maybe.
1 and World at War came out around the same year.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know the exact years, but yeah, but it's just not that the world needs more like zombie stuff. It is one thing that Call of Duty has done right, and I think that it's a fun like wave-based system that is it's good, and they created it decently. But there's just so much wrong with Call of Duty that, we're not even going in, and I'm just gonna mention it, but I'm not going into detail about this, about the conspiracy theorist parents that are out there saying that that this game makes you violent, and that like that stuff exists. I'm gonna let you Google search it and find out for yourself, but I'm not gonna talk to you about it because it's absolutely insane. Like. But yeah, that exists, and that's another issue with the game, that they cater to. They don't like cater to the right audience, like I've said 50 times already. But
Yep,
it's just.
do you want to make that same point?
No, I'm all right.
You're right.
I think I've made my point.
All right. One thing I just want to say before, Call of Duty is bad when it comes to releasing the same game, right? But there is something worse than Call of Duty.
What?
Pretty much every sports game ever. Because even Call of Duty does more than sports games, and they sell for the same price.
I mean, we could make an entire episode about things that are wrong with sports games.
I would like to, but the thing is just that talking about like casuals and stuff, every single thing can be said about FIFA.
Yeah, FIFA is not a good game. Like,
Exactly.
There's so many problems with it that it's like
And
we
please
had this
understand,
experience.
I'm not defending
Yeah.
Call of Duty because like I only play Call of Duty because of zombies, and
Yeah.
I'll say that right now because I love the story and the gameplay
Yeah.
and everything like that. But I do feel like Call of Duty gets so much hate by people who go and then play FIFA. I'm just saying they're like, I don't understand how you can make all these points and then go like, but this is great.
Yeah, like it's just it's not okay. But yeah, and on a closing point for why I dislike Call of Duty, and this is a point that Sam originally didn't understand, and then he came to understand what I meant by this. As a League of Legends player, I once said to Sam that Dota 2 was a bad game, and Sam said to me why, and I just said,
Did you say bad? You said, oh yeah, sorry.
no, is a bad game, and then he said why, and I just said because it's terrible, and then he's like, Brad, you can't just say a game is terrible.
that's like
And
facts
it was
and
like you
points.
gotta have points and facts and stuff about why it's a bad game, and I was just like, it's just terrible. And I'm sorry, Dota 2 players, but your game is just not as good as ours. Okay, I'm sorry, but Sam went home and he was like, Brad is just stupid. You can't make that as
This
a
was a
point.
year later.
And then about a year from this, from that happening.
So about a year from that happening, my friends, it's actually Chung Lee. Chung Lee and I, Chung Lee's at my house, we're just chilling, and I was like, hey, wanna play some zombies? He's like, sure. So I'm like, alright, well, Black Ops 3 just came out, let's do that. He's like, actually, you know what? For all time's sake, let's play some Black Ops 2. You played that, right? I'm like, well, did I play it? Yeah. It's like, man, that's where do you think most of my summer was? Yeah, okay, let's play zombies. But I'm like, alright, so you wanna play like Origins? That's a great game. I was like, oh no, let's play Transit. And I look at him, I'm like, Transit. He's like, yeah. I'm like, Transit. And he's like, yes. I was like, you want to play the worst map to ever be created in any game ever? And he went, it's not that bad. He's like, why you hate it? I went, because it's terrible. And then I went, oh my god, I've become Brad. Which, by the way, Transit's terrible just because, like, if you try to go anywhere, you get things that jump on your face and you can't do anything about it. You just gotta stab them. Your friends die and stuff, and you can't get around the map. Anyway, I could do a whole entire 40-minute thing about that, but it's terrible. Yes, I did come out to see because I literally went, because it's terrible. Like, I don't understand how you could like it.
So in the end, I don't like Call of Duty because of the reasons stated below, and because it is terrible. And but yeah, you did started or already kind of started what you were saying before about like why you played COD is plainly because
why I play Call of Duty is because of the zombie game mode. Back in World at War when it was introduced, I played it a little bit at a friend's house. Well, no, they brought their game to mine. I'm sorry. But I got more into it in Black Ops 1.
Mm-hmm.
And but what really I enjoyed the game mode, but really got me hooked was like the rich backstory to
Lore.
it, the rich lore, and then because it was always they always gave you a little bit, but not enough to know everything. They always give you tidbits and stuff, and you're like, oh, these people are dying. This man hung himself. What's happening and stuff, and then but nothing ever happens. They never gave you enough.
Yeah.
So on YouTube, everyone became like 9/11 conspiracy theorists. They got you got like the corkboard and stuff.
Yeah.
They got like red lines connecting things and like pictures of people and stuff. That's why it became. It was so much fun to be part of like a community like that. I guess you can almost call it a fandom if I dare.
Yeah, slightly.
Slightly, it's a cult following really.
Yeah.
And anyway, the reason why we decided to make this podcast though about Call of Duty is that we knew we wanted to make one, but we chose this time because in a couple of days, the Eclipse DLC is coming out for Black Ops 3. Now,
which I know nothing about. So
he knows nothing about.
enlighten me.
So, with this DLC, it's coming with 4 new multiplayer maps and 1 zombie map. Not even Treyarch cares about multiplayer maps now. They're like, look, great, yeah, you're in the air, great, done. All right, look, you can run on the walls again. Yeah, it's the same thing. We may even add a new gun that you can pay points for. But so what everyone's excited by is the new zombies map, and forgive me if I mispronounce this, Zetsubu no Shima.
Zetsubu no Shima.
Yeah, I mean,
Zetsubu no Shima.
the last one was Der Eisendrache.
Der Eisendrache!
Yeah, Der Eisendrache, Zetsubu no Shima. I feel like Treyarch just hates Americans.
Yeah, they're just like
trying to pronounce.
they're trying to kill you off.
Yeah, they're trying to pronounce their maps. Oh my god. Anyway, this map takes place in an island. Now, the island's actually called Pompeii, but it's not in Italy.
Okay.
It's like an island.
I'm assuming it's a Japanese Italian island.
They serve spaghetti. They serve mom
They-
spaghetti.
They serve mom's spaghetti.
Yeah, that's actually the.
Are
new-
your palms are sweaty?
Yeah, yeah, but no, it's like the island itself, like in the lore and stuff, and it's like a cursed island or whatever. But they actually gave us coordinates and how people predicted this, because we're conspiracy theorists.
Yes.
We predicted this map because it was like an island known as Pompeii in like the Atlantic, so it's like close to Japan. Or is that the Pacific? That's the Atlantic. It's the Pacific.
You're putting
Digging a hole.
yourself
anyway,
on the spot.
It's been a long day. Anyway, it's taking place on this island, and you go to this island, and they're trying to create this scary atmosphere that they had in World at War, and that's what a lot of people are saying is how they missed the very tense and scary atmosphere where in World at War, like you're just like casually walking through, and all of a sudden you hear like this bang on the door, and you're like, what was that? Just like like you're like looking around, you see like zombies, killed zombies, it's like all quiet, and you hear like. You're like, why? And you walk up to this window and you see this door like shaking off. And you're always afraid like something come out of there. What's gonna happen? Nothing ever comes out. And you're like, well, what is that?
What do I do?
So they're trying to create this
hype
atmosphere, this hype again, and it's really exciting because that's something that I always enjoyed. And I think a scarier a map is, the more replay value it has. Because like you go back and you're scared that eventually you kind of overcome those fears and stuff. Now. One thing to add in, which I'm not such a big fan of. I'm not such a big fan of
Spooters?
Get spooters.
Spooter man.
I don't know why we need spiders in a zombie game.
Explain.
We have wolves already, alright? We got these, like, alien crawling things, Nova 6 crawlers, alright? We don't need spiders. I might have a slight case of arachnophobia, I don't know. But, they're in the game now. We just have to accept it. See, this is one already. This is what they look like in the map, actually. They go up and they start shooting webs at you and stuff. A sneak peek. We actually have early access footage.
Yeah, early access footage right here.
Because we bashed on their game.
Because they definitely want bad publicity for their game. Hey, no publicity is bad publicity.
Exactly. But in all honesty, I feel like the spiders themselves could look scarier because we saw in the trailer. They're just like kind of like. I feel like if we had like furry like tarantulas, like that would have been like. Ugh. But in this, they just look kind of like brownish and kind of just like big. And you're like, oh.
Yeah, well, they're
Great.
spiders.
Yeah. But they like slow you down. So it's gonna be like, really, dude? Can you like please go away?
Can you not slow me down?
Can you not slow
Spider.
me down? Right?
Like, you're slowing me down, man. I could be so much more.
It could be so much more. But yeah, it's very exciting. What is nice is that they're implementing some of the black market weapons. Now, Brad, the black market weapon is weapons they've added into the game for free, but you can only get them through like this black market, and so that's how you get these. You know how we were talking about the skins earlier?
Okay, yes.
That's how you're getting these. So
Okay.
you can either pay real money or you can get these things called cryptic keys to get them. It looks like it's in the map themselves, so that's a nice thing about the map. Other than that, though, some people are a little bit worried about the design of the map because we saw like a outline, and it's like there's like a big section here, a big section here, and like 2 chokehold points to get to there, which for a horde mode
Interesting.
could be a little bit difficult if you're completely surrounded.
Oh, really?
It could be a little bit difficult.
Had
to
no
survive.
idea.
Yeah.
I remember, and there was a Halo map I used to play. Don't ask me what it was called, but the Flood, which is basically their version of zombies.
Yeah.
There's literally just a circle that you can like fall into, and then there's like lines of like just pathways that they can get to you, so you can just be stuck in the middle. Me and my cousins, we used to just do like a kind of like crossfire thing where we would all like take responsibility of one of them, but there was only 3 of us and 4 of the portways, so we would just kind of like switch through. But yeah.
Now there has been shown like traveling systems to get to the other sides. It looks like and stuff, so that's really exciting. We also have tree zombies now, which I'm not quite sure how I feel about, but Tree zombies. We see in the trailer this plant designs casually walking, right? He's like, well, I'm gonna get some brains.
Excuse me, sir, but can I acquire some of your brains?
Exactly, so he's casually walking up to us, and then we see this plant pop out of nowhere like an asshole. He comes up, grabs him, sucks him into the ground, he disappears for a bit, I don't know what happens, but he, like, vomits him back out, comes up, and he's got, like, some, like, mucus going on, and then he, like, turns into this tree zombie thing. I don't know what to expect from that, right?
And like, you can get all of this for an additional $60.
Yes. Or 15 for sold separately. 4 for 60.
Is it worth it? That's for you to decide. Anyway,
so people are worried about the storyline of it. I don't know. I'm not gonna go into the depth of that, otherwise we're gonna be here all day.
Yeah. Conspiracies, bro.
Conspiracies. I'm just excited. I'm just really excited about. I hate Brad sometimes. I was really excited for this match release. Unfortunately, I'm probably gonna be able to play it until like 5 days after it comes out because I'm gonna be busy with catch-up work. But yeah.
Catch up.
Yes, catch up.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was
that's your slight defendants of the Call of Duty franchise.
I just like zombies.
Yeah, I mean zombies is not that bad. It's just, I mean, again, technically in my eyes, you could have made, like, not you, I mean like the company, that what they could have done what they could have done to make, because zombies thrive so much, and instead of releasing a new game every year like they do to just steal your money, updates, man, updates, new maps, Operation Wildfire, Operation, like all these weird operations they've had in Counter-Strike, like maybe season pass, like they have season passes in Counter-Strike. That doesn't bother me that much because I don't need to get it. Otherwise, they're also not $60, but I don't need to play them.
Yeah.
They're there for people who want them. I don't play the I guess, what do you call them, little campaigns that they put in CS:GO because that's not what I play the game for.
Yeah.
But some people play Call of Duty for that, and they don't need to be paying an additional $60 to do that.
Yeah.
And especially since they have to buy the game every year to be able to do that. Like there should just be one game, and maybe update the game and sell it again as another game if you're going to be super stingy every 4 years or something.
No, I agree with that
and
completely.
Update it. And update the game. Give us the new maps and the updates. Give us the new guns. Balance the game out slightly more. Don't release the same game over and over again just so that you can make more money and steal all of our gamers' money. Sad memes.
You okay, Brad? I do think Activision should be smart enough. Now, no offense to Infinity Ward Sledgehammer, but your past 2 games were honestly garbage.
Garbo.
Treyarch at this point is the only company making good Call of Duty. That's just because of zombies.
Call of Duty making.
Anyway, they should really just have Treyarch releasing games every like 3 or 4 years or so. And I feel like that could get them a lot of respect.
That's their excuse as for making games every year, is that, oh, we have 3 companies working on it, it'll be just as good as a 3-year release. That's their excuse, which is not.
It's not true.
It's not true.
No, because other companies kind of suck. But I feel like if Activision wants respect for Call of Duty from like the overall gaming community, it would be better to have Treyarch release a game every like 4 years or so, or just do what all the zombie community wants and release a zombie game with all the maps remastered 1080p, please.
Just Call of Duty Zombies. That's it.
I don't want multiplayer or campaign. The campaign's terrible. There hasn't been a good one since COD 4 and Black Ops. So,
Captain Price, man.
Captain Price is pretty great.
But yeah, like, just make them a game, or just update your game. Like, we don't need this $60 every year bullshit. Nobody likes that except for you. Yeah.
I mean, I play multiplayer a little bit, but I don't know. Yesterday,
It's just,
said
I think it's
yesterday I
super
like CS:GO
repetitive.
now.
Yeah. CSGO's fun. Like, CSGO...
That is kind of funny to say it's super repetitive, then out here all we play is
Okay.
Dust.
That's not by choice. That is...
My servers.
That is not our choice. We don't choose to only play Dust 2, okay? not our Counter-Strike. But yeah, I guess we weren't really planning on doing this, but I'll talk a little bit about why I prefer Counter-Strike over like other shooters. And I'm not saying that Counter-Strike is like super realistic, because obviously like that's not actually how recoil works in real life and stuff like that.
But
it makes
as
it...
our friend Chun Li pointed out yesterday, the guns don't shoot through the barrel; they just shoot out like the little like gun,
yeah,
and then they go.
You don't pull the gun down.
Like
yeah.
they will go anywhere. I don't know how it's possible for a gun to literally like shoot all the way out. Like see, like my hands like out here,
sideways,
all the way out. I don't know how it's possible, but it happens.
But I just like how Counter-Strike made there to be some kind of like recoil system that you have to be good to be able to control it. Like most of the maps are pretty balanced. Some of them are slightly T-sided or slightly CT-sided, but it's not that bad. Like the guns in the game are mostly slightly balanced. When the R8 revolver came out and it was totally broken, and then they fixed it. It took like 2 or 3 days of Valve just getting totally smacked in the face, maybe a week.
I would not, dude. It was like a day.
It was like a day?
Yeah.
And then Valve was just like, okay, fine, sorry, and they fixed it.
Now no one uses it.
Now no, because they've nerfed it to the ground. But, like, I remember you saying you watched a competitive Call of Duty game and they were just using the same guns.
Yeah, dude,
Whereas,
it was so fun. It was Fnatic, I think?
Maybe.
No,
I don't know if they have a
Optic,
Call of Duty.
Optic. And Optic versus, like, Rise or something.
Okay.
And literally, the two most, like, 90% of the game time was used where they're using an assault rifle called the MA7, or an SMG called the VMP. The VMP can be summed up with, and the MA7 is a 4-round burst where if you're accurate enough and you get a headshot, they're dead.
Yeah.
So it makes sense why they use that. But the VMP is like, and they had max one guy using MA7. And the teams of 4 and 3 other guys are using
Whereas if you watch some good CSGO teams, there's different strats with different weapons. Yeah, sure, you're going to see a lot of M4A1Ss and AKs, but hey, and ops. Well, that's what I was going to get into. But there's strategies. First of all, there's eco rounds, which you need to use pistols. You need to be good at pistols and learn which pistols that you're good at. There's SMG rounds. Yeah, everybody loves a good 1D. If you're on the giving end rather than the receiving end.
When you walk up, you're like, all right, well,
yeah, but like there's SMG rush B strats, there's like rifle long strats, and then SMG short strats, and then there's the arguable last round of the half Negev strat that a lot of I've seen professional teams do it. I have seen professional teams do it. Buy the Negev on the last round because it's a lot of money that you can use and spend, and there's like the economy makes the game fun. I don't really think there is anything like the economy in Call of Duty, because in Counter-Strike they just make it so that it's fun. Like all the guns have a use in the game, other than like I would say like dual Berettas and stuff like that. But hey, every gun gets used at least a little bit.
You see that UMP 4.5 coming on competitive play.
UMP's not that bad. I mean, I use it sometimes. I use it. Like, yeah, but yeah.
The sole user of the UMP. Leave down in the comments below if you use the UMP. How
UMP
often.
45.
And if you have a collateral of that, please send in a clip. We'll feature in the next episode.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Counter-Strike just seems like it was a better thought out game than Call of Duty, and especially since it's a update game, free update game, rather than. And they like, I'm not saying like you can be like keyboard warrior in the comments like, yeah, well they have season passes as well, and you have to pay for skins and $400,000 knives, and that's all optional, man. You don't have to play the campaign thing. You don't need to buy a knife. You don't need to get these dank skins. You want to? That's fine. That's up to you. But even if you do, they're not gonna come stab you in the back and make you pay $60 for it. Okay? The additional maps, they're always free in the end. Even if you're a couple days you won't be able to play them. But the campaign, you don't get to play unless you pay. But it's like $20. So if you really care about it that much, which not many Counter-Strike players do, I'm sorry, Valve, but you'll buy it. You'll buy it and you'll play.
I'm sorry, Valve.
Yeah, you just sell one of your nice skins.
I've seen War Owl play, and that's about it.
But yeah, that's why I think Counter-Strike is slightly better. And if you have any more challenges for us, whether it be, and if you really, really want to, I would consider doing a Call of Duty challenge at your house, but we'd have to figure that out how to do that. But any other challenges, Counter-Strike, League of Legends, Call of Duty.
If we did a Call of Duty...
Who's your daddy?
Who's your dad? If we did a Call of Duty 1v1, I feel like we had to do a...
There'd have to be equal...
There would have to be a new top at one point.
A new top at one point, yeah. Okay. But yeah, so any challenges, hit us up. And now we're going to be moving into Absolute BS, and BS does not stand for what you think it does. It stands for Absolute Brad and Sam. And so, from a lot, if we have any Korean viewers, these are very popular where you live. These are very popular in some parts of Europe and in some parts of North America, is a PC bong. And PC bongs are places that you can go, and there's a bunch of decent quality computers in a row with monitors, and you can sit with your friends, eat food, play games, and have a great time. And they're just fun places to hang out and play some games with people, especially if you're all PC gamers and you have desktops at your house and you can't really, like, play together, but you can go and have a great time together, or you just want to play on good computers and not have to reconnect to your game 5,000 times to get into a game. And that's what we did this weekend, and I do it all the time. I go to this place called Q Club, and either Rails or Last Resort. These are all places in the UAE.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. These are all these places in the UAE that if you are looking for a PC bong to go chill out, those are 3 pretty good ones that I've been to and enjoyed my time.
Which, by the way, if anyone's going to a Q Club or anything, hit us up.
Yeah,
we'll play some CSGO.
I'll go play some CSGO with some viewers. That'd be fun.
I mean, personally, I have to do it on the weekend because I'm busy during the week.
Yeah,
Brad
for sure.
Works and plays hockey, but you know.
But yeah, it's a good place to hang out, and gamers alike chill and play games.
Yeah.
But we have a couple stories from our experience this weekend of going to the PC bongs, and
So
Sam may
first
start.
of all, I'll start it off because Brad's like, all right, guys, and this is like Thursday night. Brad's talking to Chung Lee and I. We're like, all right, guys, listen, 11:30, my house. All right, be there or be square. We're going to Q Club. Like, okay, Brad, cool. I'm walking in Brad's house because we live in the same place. It's like a 20-minute walk. I'm walking there. Also, it stormed.
It's storming
Randomly in the desert, but it was still humid. And I was like, what is this? I hate this. Anyway, I walk in there. Chung Lee honks his horn. And I'm like, oh, wait, I'll get right for him. Nope, he gets out and goes, says bye to his dad. And we start walking. I'm like, all right, then. So, Chung Lee and I walking. Chung Lee, maybe a little late. We get here like 11:45.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not so mad.
Knock on the door. Brad's mom lets us in. We come inside, say hi and stuff. Brad's dad's like, yeah, he's probably sleeping. And we're like, really? I thought he had hockey. He's like, he's sleeping.
And then Philip was like,
Philip's like, but he texted us. He went, trust me, he's sleeping. Walk to Brad's room. Brad looks like a rock star. He's like passed out on his back, wearing no shirt. He's like with his long hair down. And then I throw my bag at Brad. I'm like, Brad, wake up. He's like, why are you throwing things at me? And he's like, he's got all these like, I'm not gonna go into that. He's like, why are you throwing things at me? He's like, yeah, like no shirt on. He's like, oh, he looks like he was like high last night. He's like, okay.
No.
Gets out of his bed with his iPad's right next to him. That's how he was texting us. We found out.
Yeah.
And then gets up, puts the shirt on. He's like, all right, we going or what? And they're like, okay, all right, go Q.
We stopped at the mall so you can get some earphones.
So I get some headphones. Yeah, and then got to Q. Then you want to explain your story?
Yeah, so we live in a part of the world that's relatively wealthy, and the locals relatively, and the locals are very
generous.
They're very generous, very kind people because they don't, I guess, perceive money the same way that we do.
Yes.
Okay? I'm trying to be as kind as possible because I don't want to be like offensive or anything.
Yeah.
I'm just like trying to say it how it is without being mean. They just don't think of money the same way as us. And in Counter-Strike, I'm sure you understand how much knives can go for, hundreds and thousands of dollars. Not hundreds of thousands, hundreds and thousands of dollars. And
you see my $300,000 knife skin, bro?
Yeah. But like there was this guy, and sadly, in the end, it didn't work out because of reasons I'll explain. But he was a local boy. He was really nice to us. He was just talking to us like we were just having a good time playing some games. And he was like, "Listen, I don't play Counter-Strike anymore. Do you want my knife?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want your knife."
You're like, "Oh, what is it?"
And I was like, "What is it?" He's like, "Oh, it's factory new gut knife Doppler, you know." And I was like, Oh, I wouldn't mind. He's like, you know what, I'll just give you my entire inventory. He had like a couple op hyper beasts and stuff. And I was like,
And we just met this dude.
yeah, like, we just met him, and he wasn't trying to troll me or whatever. Like, he was genuinely going to give it to me. Like, his friends were even trying to help him figure out how to do it. Like, cause, and then he was like, oh, just I'm just gonna play a game of League. Just like come to my computer like after. Like, I'll and I was like, yeah, sure. I'm not gonna pressure him to give me all his money, right? But he was just like, yeah, it was just fine, you know. And then later on, we go over, we try to figure it out. Turns out he was VAC banned, and all his stuff is locked into his account, so he wasn't able to trade.
And then he offered to buy you a knife.
And then he offered to buy me a knife, and I was like,
so essentially, Brad met this guy, and he was like, so you want a couple $100 or what?
or what?
Brad was like, yeah,
okay, sure, bro. It's the kind of people that you can run into in the UAE or in.
And my dad's had a story before
clubs.
where he was going to the ATM. Then he got out. He got like a 500 dirham note. Now the currency here is weak. You know, don't get me wrong. It's not like my dad. It's not like I'm like rich.
It is pinned to the dollar though, so it's always 1 to 3. 1 to 3. It's pinned.
Okay. So dad gets his 500 dirham note at the ATM, but it's like cut at the top, slightly the corner.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, no one's gonna take this and stuff. Dad's like, ugh. Walks to the bank. He's waiting in line with this 500 dirham note. And there's this guy, he's an MRI guy. And he's sitting here with a wad cash like this thick. And he's just sitting here, and he looks at my dad. He's like, "Are you coming here to exchange that because it's cut?" And then my dad's like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right." Opens up his wad, takes out 500. It's like, "Here, swap." He's like, "No one will give me trouble if I try to give this." And Dad was like, "Okay." So Dad walked in. Dude just gave a 500 dirham note. He's like, "Oh, you seem like a nice enough dude." Like, that's the kind of people who live here.
Emiratis are really nice, really nice people. Like, some of them, I guess, because some of them can get like slightly power hungry or whatever stuff, and they can be like just not as nice people. But for the majority of people who live here and are locals, because this is an expat country, like the majority of people who live here are not locals.
Isn't it like 85% expat?
Yeah, it's something like that. But the locals are really nice people, and they're really generous, and they just. Yeah, they're just like, oh yeah, you can live in our land. We don't care. You can take our jobs. You can. We just kind of want to be here and live in our country and be happy. Like they're great people. And, I've lived here for almost 11 years now, and.
Yeah, I mean, I've yet to run across anyone who's MRI and has been very rude or anything.
Yeah, no, never. I barely. And like even the fact that it's a monarchy and you can't even tell. Like the ruling family, they're so awesome. Like apparently sometimes you can just find the sheikh on the metro. Like he uses he just takes the metro around. They're cool people. But yeah. If you have any recommended guests that you want onto the show, he'll be down there in the next episode or something like that. Just hit us up, comment, tweet us at up there's our handles on Twitter, and yeah, just hit us up and we'll get to that. But we're 52 minutes in, Sam. That's longer than normal.
Yeah. I think you were pretty heated about your Call of Duty.
I was pretty heated. I don't like that game, man. Salts me out.
Yeah. Also, one thing I want to say real quick, and I talked to Brad about this, but I still have it, so it's happening. I'm interested in getting involved with the CS:GO trading community. So I'm gonna find some sort of way to link my inventory down below.
Yeah, so will I.
And
if you guys want to trade with us,
I'm interested in getting started with it. So yeah, funny story. Just got a friend request from the pro player Mo.
He's played on Cloud9, I think.
Cloud9, yeah, and
a couple other teams.
Yeah.
He just randomly added him while we were at Q.
Right after I made my profile public too.
Yeah, and because he's got a nice falchion knife, Crimson Web, field tested, minimal wear, 2 big webs, 2 small webs, or something similar to that.
I'm not exactly sure.
It's a nice knife.
I can't exactly tell.
I got me a field tested, case hardened falchion knife and a gut knife Boreal Forest battle scarred. But and I got a couple nice other gun skins, like I got AK Blue Laminate, Stat Track, I got AK-47 Redline.
I also have a Glock War Elemental Stat Track.
That's a nice gun. Yeah, that's nice. But yeah, we're not gonna bore you of our inventories, economy, and Valve.
I got mine through a rich kid who I'm friends with.
Yeah, he was just like, you want my stuff?
He's like, I'm not playing CS:GO. Now he plays CS:GO.
He plays CS:GO again. But yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it, especially if you've come this late into the episode. We really appreciate the people who listen to the entire thing. That's why we do this. We do this for you. So, yeah. Yeah. Are
Thanks,
we?
guys.
What? I think yeah. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye bye.